I'm Ruth, I'm also one of the chaplains here. So when I go and see children and families on the wards, I usually take a variety of things with me and just see where the child might like to engage, and sometimes actually some of these activities I have also done with families or even just with parents and their own. One of our newer activities we have is some Russian dolls, and if the child chooses to make Russian dolls, then we allow the child to do it as they would like to. One child did it as an evolution of Bob. But very often children will do it, and young people, and they'll find a way of being able to share their story through what's happening and talk about what's happening to them through the play that they're doing. Looking at the Russian dolls, I did it with one young lady, I'll call her Emily, and we had quite a lot of silence as we did this activity, and initially I was thinking, oh, she's not really engaging, but actually it soon became really clear that as I was asking gentle questions, Emily was actually thinking very deeply about them, and very often would share how she was feeling about whatever it was I talked about. And it became quite a profound activity. The first one that Emily decorated, and she made them all about herself, was Happy Emily. And that surprised me, because Emily had made no secret of the fact that she really hated being in hospital. She was in a different hospital before she came here, and she was separated from her family and friends. So to hear the first doll be done as Happy was really surprising. So I just probed and asked some of the times that Emily was happy, and she'd been able to have some leave away from the ward. They were happy times. She was happy when she got different visitors. The second one she did was Excited Emily. I said, oh, excited. I said, what times make you excited? She said, well, times like when you and when Paul come and see me and we do some fun things together. And she shared a few other things about Excited Emily. And then the next one she did was Sad Emily. But I noticed that Sad Emily had a feather in her hair, and I commented on that. I said, but Sad Emily's still got a feather. She said, yes. She says, because even Sad Emily can be happy at times. So we had a whole conversation about our emotions and how it's okay to have many different emotions in one go. This young girl actually did have faith, and so we talked about the Psalms and the Bible and how they're full of different emotions, good and bad and ugly, and actually how it was okay to have all of those emotions but know that we're still loved. The next and the final one that really had any significance was Nervous Emily. But Nervous Emily still had a smile on her face. And I inquired about the smile on Nervous Emily, and yes, came back the reply, Nervous Emily will hide it from you. And that led us into a conversation of the people that she could talk to while she was in hospital about things that were making her nervous, so that she wouldn't have to face these things on her own. So it became a really quite profound activity. So another activity that I have used many times have been simple glitter bottles. They can be used by children who are quite agitated. They've been really, really well used with some of the children we have with additional needs. They can be very, very soothing just watching the glitter as it falls around. I've also used it, again, helping children to talk through their emotions, and they can choose different coloured glitter to represent their different emotions. And once they've made the bottles, they can shake them. And as they watch the glitter just swirling around, they can be thinking about what it is that's making them happy, why it is a better day today, what it is that's making them really angry or frustrated, and is there someone they can talk to about these things? Are there some questions that they can ask so that they can understand what's happening to them a little bit better? And I've also done this activity actually with some parents, and it's just been a lovely, gentle activity to do as we've talked through what's happening with their child. And then just to share, I also use storybooks an awful lot with children. Sometimes it's purely a lifting spirit. Stories really engage our imaginations, and children in hospital, especially those who are here for a long time, really need some more normal things like stories. So I may just use some storybooks that have got fun things in. This one has us howling, and there's one young girl that I often do, and the parents are in the ward howling away and just having fun when we read it. But there are other storybooks that I use that I encourage children to wonder at the end. So a storybook about special powers and what special powers do we have. And very often children realise that they've got special powers of courage and bravery, and it can just be an encouragement. Or books about change for a child who's going through a lot of change. Books about being brave or being scared, actually, and recognising that all of us have times when we're brave and all of us have times when we're scared. And often I'll just read the story, and if I feel it's right to do at the end, I may just wonder with the child and just let their imagination and their thinking go. So I wonder, where is the lion inside of me? Where's the lion inside of you? I think I might have a mouse inside of me as well. Do you have a mouse inside of you? And let those, just the simple stories written for children stay in the child's mind as they think these things through.